Hi, welcome to Mostly Yin with Casey. I'm Casey and this is May, and today we're going to be doing our Yinneagram, Enneagram Type 6. If you are new to this series or new to the Enneagram, I would just suggest popping over to my channel and watching my intro to the series video as I discuss lots of things more in depth than I will be doing in this video. This is our 25-minute practice. Last week I aired a 60-minute practice, so if you're interested in more information and more postures, then I would just suggest to hop over and watch that video. The Enneagram Type 6s are the Loyalists or the Devil's Advocate, and they are in the fear triad. But in addition to that, their passion or their vice is fear. Because of that, I've selected us to work with the kidney meridian, as when our kidney energy is out of balance, we tend to experience a lot more fear and anxiety. Sixes can tend to kind of have a little bit of trouble trusting in themselves and finding security in themselves. And so because of this, I have a little bit of a balance flow at the beginning of practice to just try to foster that sense of trust in the self. If you would like to bring along props today, I would just suggest a blanket and a bolster. That is all that I use today. You don't have to bring along any props at all if you would like, but I like to use these guys. If you are ready to go, then please meet me back here in a comfortable seat and let's jump right in.
Lift your torso up. Sit back onto your calves. You may like to place a blanket under your knees here. Sit on a block between your feet for some height, or a blanket between your bum and calves. We're going to move into toe squat, but know at any time you can come back to this pose, hero. Shift your torso forward so you can pop your heels up and are just on the shins, the ball mounds of the feet and the toes. Start by keeping hands on the floor. Sit back onto the heels and gauge how much weight goes to the feet. Remember, hero pose is available for you. You can also do reps of this if you would like. For instance, 20 seconds on the toes, 20 seconds off. You have the ability, the freedom, and the power to decide what is best for your body. The Enneagram is not static. You aren't just a 6 and that's it. Nuances to the Enneagram are wings, integration and disintegration points, instinctual variance, and whether you are in a healthy, average, or unhealthy place. An average 6 questions everything. They have difficulty trusting others and themselves. They have very specific feelings about authority. This is a fascinating part about 6s, is that they will either be loyally subservient or consistently opposed to authority. An average 6 will be very committed to their partner, friends, or organizations. An unhealthy 6 sees danger everywhere. They may develop traits bordering paranoia or full-blown paranoia. Completely leaning into not trusting themselves or others, they look for someone to make their decisions for them. They can fall deeply into passive aggressiveness. A healthy 6, on the other hand, has learned how to be trusting of the self and others. They are endearing, affectionate, responsible, trustworthy, and lovable. Healthy 6s tend to organize actions and thoughts around what is best for their community, for their loved ones, what is best for the common good. They are able to reach a level of belief in themselves that results in courage, leadership, self-expression, and positive thinking. If you've been in a toe squat, come down onto the tops of your feet. Bring your legs out in front of you, scooting the sits bones behind you for a forward tilt of the pelvis. Inhale, exhale, fold over. You may like to sit on a blanket for that forward tilt. Remember, in Yin Yoga, your back can be curved and nowhere near your legs. If the curvature in the spine does not feel good, simply sit up straight and hinge forward with a straight spine until you need to stop and hold there. Note that this posture is absolutely not about how far you can fold over. We're keeping our legs straight to stimulate the kidney meridian, which may mean we can't fold over as much as we could if it was just a forward fold. So if you can't fold to kiss your knee, that is not a problem here. The passion or sin or vice of a type 6 is fear. Ian Michael Crone states this so wonderfully in his book, The Road Back to You. Though we say fear is the sin toward which the 6 gravitates, what 6s actually experience is anxiety. Fear is what arises when you're in the presence of a clear and immediate source of danger. Anxiety, by contrast, is a vague, free-floating sense of apprehension that arises in response to an unknown or potential threat that may never materialize. If some people look through the world with rose-colored glasses, 6s look at it through anxiety-colored glasses. Their thought world is ever circulating around what could go wrong, how to keep things from going wrong, how to prepare for something going wrong. Even in good times, they are thinking what might go wrong to mess it up. If fear is one side of a 6, then the key to getting to the other side is discovering and living out of your true self. Who 6s need to learn to trust and love and rely on is themselves. Very little security can be found when you don't feel secure within yourself. Slowly lift your torso up. Lean back and rest on your palms. Take some wiper movements here, keeping your legs either bent or long, whichever your body is intuitively asking you to take. We'll be here for just a few breaths. Come to a seat, swinging your legs around and behind you to table, then all the way onto your stomach. Bring your elbows under your shoulders, then out an inch, palms flat on the floor. Imagine pushing away from the mat with your elbows and forearms. Keep moving your elbows forward if you're finding this to have too much sensation in the shoulders. You can keep your head in line with the spine or let the chin fall to the chest for a nice stretch in the back of your neck. Another option is to bring a block, Papa Bear size, between your elbows and rest your forehead down. Relax the glutes and legs here. In her book, The Enneagram, Helen Palmer writes, the habitual preoccupations of the sixes include procrastination of action, thinking replaces doing, issues with work and incompletion, amnesia with respect to success and pleasure, authority problems, either submitting to or rebelling against authority, suspiciousness of the motives of others, especially authorities, identification with underdog causes, loyalty and duty to the cause, to the underdog, and to the strong leader, fear of direct anger, attribution of own anger to others, skepticism and doubt, paying attention by scanning the environment to look for clues that might explain the inner sense of threat, an intuitive style that depends upon a powerful imagination and single-pointed action, both of which are natural to the fearful mind. Let the elbows wing out and rest your head on the back of your hands. Come to a seat. Take the right leg out into the right side. Bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. For this posture, you can decide which way you want your torso to turn. If you would like a side stretch, then reach your right hand out towards your foot, keeping your side body turned toward your leg. If you would like to target the hamstrings a bit more intentionally, inhale, turn toward your leg, exhale, fold over. Take a moment to consider what you would like to focus on today, and if that works in your body. You have the knowledge to do this. Crone states that 6s make up half the world's population. That being said, 6s have the most variation within their own type than any other type. Posh quotes Rizzo and Hudson as saying, "No matter what we say about 6s, the opposite is often also true." There are 2 subtypes of the 6s I would like to introduce, as I think it's necessary for this extremely nuanced type: phobic and counterphobic. Phobic 6s are very loyal and have a strong sense of security and authority. They are generally rule followers and people pleasers. Authority is their source of security. Authority can be the government, police, military, the church, or any other institution or belief system. Counterphobic 6s also focus on authority, but because they are untrusting of it. They tend to not be compliant and agreeable. These 6s seek security by charging headfirst into the things that make them fearful, instead of avoiding it. Their security comes from overcoming fears, not by avoiding it. Slowly bring your torso up. Use your hands as kickstands behind you. Stretch the legs out long and take those wiper movements again. Move the left leg over to the left. Bring the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Decide which way your torso will turn. Inhale, exhale, fold. Maybe you aren't a type 6, but you do love one. Understanding the Enneagram types can help us in an extraordinary way to love people for who they truly are, in a way they will see and feel. It's so important to practice loving people as the individuals they are. We can't simply show someone love the way we want to receive it, as they might not interpret it as a loving gesture the way we would. A few tips Abby Howe states on her YouTube channel for loving a 6 include: be a constant source of security. Do what you say you are going to do. This reinforces trust. Help 6s be their own biggest fan. Remind them of times they were successful and strong. Remind them of times they went through something hard and either overcame it or made it through. Crone says 6s might be prone to asking a lot of questions like, do you still love me? Are you happy? Do you really want to be with me? Remind them that you love them and are there for them. Most importantly, when a 6 is anxious or catastrophizing, don't belittle or ignore their concerns. Have them walk you through what they are thinking. Say things like, "You're right. That sounds bad. Then what would happen?" They will either begin to see the irrationality of their anxiety, or that even if these things come to pass, they have the inner resources to get through it. Slowly bring your torso upright. Allow your body to dictate what you do now to find some comfortable movement. After having your head forward, you may choose to use your arms as kickstands and lean your head back, having bent or straight legs making windshield wiper movements. It may feel good to sit back on your forearms and do a small back bend. Open your legs wide. Activate your feet here as if you were standing. Sit up straight and scoot your sits bones back a bit, looking for a forward tilt of the pelvis. You may want to bring a pillow or maybe even two to rest your torso on here. Fold over. There is no amount of propping too great here. As we've done this shape multiple times now, you may choose to prop only your chest and let your head hang. If pillows aren't available, simply fold forward onto your palms, forearms, or the floor. I love to end these practices with some practical tips you can take off the mat and integrate into your life. One of the titles given to type 6s is the Devil's Advocate. When playing the Devil's Advocate by pointing out flaws to other people, make sure to also acknowledge good ideas or something positive about them. Limit your exposure to TV shows, movies, games, books, the news, or anything that stirs up anxiety for you. Critically look at the social media you consume and check if it's poisoning to you. If so, you have the choice and strength to leave it. It is really important for 6s to recognize the difference between anxiety and fear. Ask yourself, is this a clear and immediate danger? If not, it's anxiety, which must be approached differently. Find something funny. Type 6s are some of the funniest people on the Enneagram. Because of this, lean into humor around you. Look up some comedians and listen to them in the car or watch them on YouTube. Feed into that side of yourself. Slowly roll up. Make your way onto your back. It may feel good today to bring your feet wide, knees knocking in, as this releases the lower spine a bit more than lying flat on your back. Or you can straighten your legs. Whichever variation you take, just try to let everything go. Don't hold any part of the muscle in your legs. Just let them be heavy. Face your palms up, letting your fingers curl slightly inward. Move your shoulders up and down your back, making a lot of space in your chest. Listen to your body. Make any last adjustments and find stillness. Here are a few mantras for type 6s. It may be helpful to place them around your environment to read and reflect upon. I have them listed in the description below. I am safe. I trust myself. I trust others. I am secure with who I am. I release all anxiety. Slowly begin to bring movement back into the body. Wiggle the toes, wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists and your ankles. Bring your knees up and roll onto one side. With eyes still closed and the focus inward for just a few more moments, come to a seat. I hope you'll continue on this Yinneagram journey with me through all the types. I upload a new video every Tuesday. If you are not a 6, I hope that this practice will help you love the 6s in your life. If you are a 6, thank you for taking some time out to care for yourself. We need 6s to be at their best to spot what is unsafe and inefficient in our world. We need 6s to model and demonstrate what it looks like to take a bit longer formulating our plans and ideas. Please work towards health and leaving behind some anxiety, friends. It is possible. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Consciously recognize that your body is your home and you are safe. And anytime you need a reminder of that, close your eyes and inhale. Go ahead and flutter your eyelids open. Bring the hands to prayer at the heart or forehead. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. Namaste.